Welcome, USFL and football fans alike. This is the Week 7 recap show of the USFL Network. As always, I am your host, Ace, joined by my fellow representative from the network, Angelo, who covers the Generals. And luckily, this week, we have the Donald Payne Jr., DP, Defensive Player of the Week, my favorite Houston Gambler, possibly my favorite player, definitely my favorite player, Donald Payne. DP, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing well. Glad to be on here. Glad to see you guys.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
Good to have you on. It's good to have you on. It seems like every time I watch a Gamblers game, I hear Donald Payne with the play, Donald Payne with the tackle, Donald Payne with the touch. You're everywhere, man. You're everywhere.
Hey, that's my job, is to find the ball. Shoot.
All right, let me pull our names off. Okay, so let's get into these games. DP, obviously, we're going to save yours for last. I have the most to talk about that one. You can talk about that one as you were actually in it. But let's start off with the first overtime game in USFL history post 1987. All right.
85.
Angelo, what'd you see? 85.
Yeah. Michigan once again with an opportunity to win a game and giving it away late. Their kicker coming up big, keeping them in the game. But it just seems like they run into that bad luck at the end and can't keep a lead. And then they get to OT and the first snap is high. And they waste that opportunity on the first round of the 2-point conversions. And that was probably the ball game right there. Once that snap went over the quarterback's head, they were done. It's a shame, man. They got nice players on that Michigan team on the defense. Reggie, who's a friend of the show, had another great game. What was it? 13 carries, 108 yards. But
yes,
I can't explain what happens to Michigan in the second half of these games.
No, I agree. You knew it wasn't going to go their way when their very first possession in overtime, it goes straight past Josh Love, which sucked because Josh Love, his first game starting as a Panther, he looked good. It was the best quarterback showing I think we've seen out of the Panthers. And then the play calling wasn't that great. And obviously with a fumbled snap, you're already down one in the best of three. So that wasn't going to go well. What about you, DP? What'd you see?
It was crazy because I actually saw it on the broadcast how they were talking about how, Shea Patterson came from Michigan and, he's on the Breakers now. And they were saying that Shea was telling the Breakers defensive coordinator what was happening. He's the quarterback. He knows everything that goes on 24/7. He knows all the checks, all the calls and everything. So the Breakers defense had a big advantage. You got the ex-quarterback letting the defensive coordinator know all the play calls, everything, all the checks, everything. So I think that might have been a big part of the game, or the Breakers defense having a super advantage over you got a new quarterback starting and your old quarterback is on the other team now. And so he has all the details and everything about that. So you throw things like that into the mix and then, Breakers having an advantage, and I know Slaughter. I actually played against him in 2018 preseason game when he was with the Minnesota Vikings, and I was with the Jaguars. I actually got a PBE on him, so I always mess with him every time I see him. But yeah, Kyle had another good game. I'm surprised they Kyle's the starting quarterback, but they had another quarterback come in and throw a pass if I'm not mistaken.
They did.
Yeah. What, Zach Smith?
Smith. He came in for a play or two, I think.
Oh, he came in for an entire drive.
Oh, was it the whole drive?
And he looked really good. I think he ended the drive on a touchdown, actually.
Mm. Yeah, that's surprising. I mean, I haven't seen Kyle come out, this entire time, so I don't know if he was injured at the time or anything like that. But he's in the running probably for offensive player of the year. So guys like that usually don't sit on the bench. You don't have them on the bench usually.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I'm amazed at the fact that they were able to keep Kyle Slaughter out there. I've had a fully torn groin before. It took me 2 months of full rehab before I even felt comfortable attempting to full on sprint. Yeah. And that guy's out there and they're like, yeah, he's at 80%. I'm like, there's no way. How is he doing that? And he's still playing at a high level. And, a lot of people are saying he's their front runner for MVP. And that's ridiculous that he can do that. It's impressive. I wish he would have done that back when he was on my Minnesota Vikings, but whatever. Go USFL. So, all right. But then the next game we had was Mahler Stallions. What did you guys see on that?
I didn't see that game too much. I was kind of in and out on that one. So all I saw was in the beginning was that the Maulers were hanging in there, right? And you get towards halftime. We all know what went on. 10-6 lead for Pittsburgh, and they've got the ball, and there's 2 minutes left, and they're like on their own 40-yard line, and Kirby packs it in.
That didn't make any sense.
What were they thinking there? I was like wondering, like, am I reading the screen wrong? Is the clock incorrect? Am I misunderstanding the situation? I mean, I'm not a coach, so I don't know all the ins and outs, but I've been watching football long enough to know that you got a kicker who just nailed a long field goal. Why are you not trying to get at least into range for a 50-something yarder, at least 40-something yarder?
Correct.
Oh, it felt like deja vu, dude. It felt like week 4, Jeff Fisher, they're on the 2-yard line, 28 seconds left in the game, 2 timeouts. And instead of even attempting to try and run it in, he's like, we're going to kick the field goal with our punter. What?
Yeah.
And that didn't make any sense. And then suddenly this week, Kirby, Madre London had his best half of football that he's had yet. I pulled him out of fantasy right before the game, was punching myself in the face. But I mean, he looked really good. And there he gets to the 50-yard line, and they have 20, I think it was another 28 seconds, 2 timeouts. And he's like, kneel it. We're good. What? Oh my gosh. I just couldn't believe it. And then honestly, that would have been the biggest controversy of the game if on the last drive where they could possibly go down and tie it up, he pulls Vad Lee because he gets mad at him.
For body language concerns, not because of anything that he did on the field or any kind of discipline, actual discipline issue. It was like, what's a body? That's like a perception. Like you perceived something in his body language and you decided that he shouldn't be playing anymore.
DP, can you hear us? Uh-oh. We can't hear you.
He'll be back.
This is why we don't go live anymore.
I know. I hear you.
All right. I think we got you now.
Yeah. Somebody was FaceTiming and it cut off when they was trying to FaceTime.
Damn.
Tell your mom she can call you back a little later, and I apologize. I think she likes like everything I ever post on Twitter that has anything remotely to do with you, and it's pretty awesome.
Of course, she's
but
supporting her baby.
But yeah, she can be annoying.
No, I love it. Thank you. I need the followers. But it was really controversial because Kirby Wilson's saying one thing. He goes body language. I kind of pointed it out to him in the press conference that the camera was next to him and we could hear both of them when he decided to pull him out. And it was because Vad Lee didn't like the call. And he literally turned around and said, warm up to Roland Rivers. And then said, I'm pulling his ASS out, kids watch. But I just didn't like it. It didn't feel good. And then he kind of lied about it. And I just don't understand what Kirby's doing. But DP, from a player, what do you think?
I mean, I personally can't get on here and say nothing about no coaches because who knows? I might run into him one day. I might need him a favor to go hit me, call one of the 32 teams or something. One of the 32 NFL teams I might need a call. So I'm not about to bash any coaches and what they got going on. But I mean, all I can say is this: I got a couple people who played for the Maulers who aren't with the Maulers anymore, and we're 1-6 too, just like they are. But I'm so glad I'm on Houston Gamblers and not them. How about that one? I just say that much. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in that locker room, but
that sums it up.
It doesn't look like anything I want to be part of.
It looks pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't know how you decide like that because just from a couple guys on my team who know Vlad, because of course I heard the body language thing as well. And of course they had this big write up on him because the only game they won, he came in, started, beat the Gamblers, led on the game-winning drive and things like that. They have a big write up on him and everything. And everybody on my team said Vlad is one of the nicest guys they ever meet in their life. Love them, babysit his kids, their children. They said they don't even feel like he would have a bad attitude or anything like that. Like they literally said those things about him, and I take my teammates, word, as whole. So that's what they said about the guy. So I mean, I can just go from that word from him. So if they say that about him, I mean, and he just led the only win you have, and he led us down the field and beat us, and we have a good defense. I mean, I don't feel like you bench a guy like that. I mean, that's just me personally, but I'm not behind the scenes. So like I said, I can't speak on what I don't know. But I honestly think uh, Bobby's Bobby's punt return, fake punt for a touchdown. Pittsburgh was leading in that moment. They about to hit the ball back. I think that was probably the game changing thing. Like that was the third quarter with 12 minutes ago. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that punt for a touchdown, and it's almost like it's almost have a little deja. I feel a little deja vu because this happens to us all the time. So as soon as I saw that punt for a touchdown, and Birmingham is, undefeated, and you got a team that's only won one game. As soon as that punt for a touchdown, it's almost like the wind probably got knocked out of them. It's.
All the ladies want to FaceTime DP.
They do. He said,
They all want to FaceTime. Tell him good game. Tell him congratulations on winning Defensive Player of the Week.
Hello.
And he couldn't hear me say any of that, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, man, we hear you. You were rolling there too.
Hello.
Yes,
DP,
sir.
we can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you.
We hear you. Damn.
Sweet. Now I am the Houston Gamblers' only representative, and I have nothing to do with the team officially. Here he is.
Yeah, remind me not to use my phone anymore because every time somebody FaceTimes me, everybody trying to FaceTime me and tell me congratulations on Player of the Week. So every time somebody FaceTime, it pulls me out, and I have to end the FaceTime and try to get back on. So I keep pressing ignore. But
it's all right, man. We understand. When everyone's calling in. Congratulations.
Everybody. Yeah, but like I said, once Birmingham took the lead, I just knew they were going to keep it. Marlins weren't getting it back.
Yeah,
100%.
You're right. The game completely changed. You could feel the momentum shift, and Pittsburgh hung in there for a few more drives. It wasn't like it went from 13-10 to like 20-10. It was like 13-all, maybe even 16-13, right, for a minute there before they finally pulled away a little bit later. But you sense that the game had shifted at that stage. Pittsburgh didn't have enough to close the deal there in the second half.
Right.
Well, imagine they come out, they have the lead on the undefeated team in the league. Then they stop them, and then 56-yard run for a touchdown on a fake punt.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I was screaming. I love Bobby. The dude's on our show every week. He's amazing. But as a Maulers fan, I would be screaming. That it completely changed the game. It really did feel like the wind came out of their sails. The Maulers they kind of lost it. I'm sure what you were talking about with, the locker room may not be the best place. It's hard to build a lot of camaraderie and keep momentum and stop momentum changes like that when you kind of are in your own head a little bit. And so it sucks. I would have liked to see the Maulers win just because I think Stallions fans need to get knocked off their high horse. No pun intended. But man, I feel for the Maulers. I mean, the Gamblers are 1-6 too, but at least we're not Maulers fans. So
yeah, that was a tough one, man. That was a tough one.
All right, Angelo, you want to lead us into the Generals game?
Sure. So the Generals, of course, becoming the first team to clinch a spot in the playoffs, which was great. After that first loss on opening night to roll off 6 straight wins. This was not as easy a win as it might have started out to look like it was going to be, right? They were up 17-3 at the break. Am I right?
Yes.
And it looked like they had complete control of the game. But give Tampa a lot of credit. They hung in there and tried to change the pace a little bit, right? They tried a little bit of no huddle in the second half. That got them moving a little bit, and it got them into scoring range, and it actually led to their touchdown drive. But oddly enough, they went away from that, and they didn't continue the no huddle. It seemed to be working, and they had the Generals defense, on their heels a little bit. But then they just Todd Haley did a lot of things that made me wonder what was going on in their decision making. But the Generals, give them some credit, right? They had a hard time running the ball. The defensive line of Tampa was actually getting good penetration and keeping the Generals from breaking any really big runs. And so that Coach Riley told me in the press conference was why they were much heavier pass in the second half than they were running. But I thought that they had a spotty game with the play calling. The Generals have been better with the play calling. I thought that with 10 minutes left and having a one-score lead, they should have been running the ball a little more and try to run some more time off the clock. And instead, they threw the ball and only took about a minute 50 off and giving the ball back to Tampa. So that kind of kept Tampa in the game a little bit. But the defense did a great job. They stood up every time Tampa was going to, was knocking on the door and kept them out of the end zone. We blocked a kick, but there was an offsides on that. He was way offsides. Bosby was way offsides on that block kick. But overall, I thought this was a good win for the Generals. I think they left some points on the field a little bit. They could have had a bigger win. Again, give Tampa credit. This was interesting. I don't know if you guys were paying that close attention to the game. With about 3 minutes left and the Generals having the ball and they were trying to put the game away, Tampa was able to hold them, but they didn't call a timeout before the third down to conserve some time prior to the 2-minute warning, and they let the clock tick all the way down to like 2:02 before they called a timeout, but the Generals were lining up to punt. So they call timeout with 2:02. The Generals punt the ball back to Tampa, who then takes over with a minute 54, which was probably what would have been left if they let the clock run down to 2 minutes. But now they only got 2 timeouts left, instead of 3. And I asked Haley in the press conference, what was he thinking there, not calling that timeout with 2.5 minutes instead of with 2.5 minutes left, calling it at 2:02. And he admitted that he lost track of time. Ooh. He looked up and it was 2.5 minutes. Then he looked up again and it was 2:02. And he kind of I think he kind of panicked a little and just called the time. And he said, he goes, I really wish I could have that one back. So at least he admitted they made a mistake. But even without that extra timeout, they were knocking on the door, 20-yard line with last play of the game.
Well, yeah, bigger cojones than me, man. I never call Kevin Sumlin out in press conferences. He has like almost bit my head off twice in a press conference, and I'm throwing softballs. So I literally can't. I want to ask him a question after a win so bad, and I just don't get the chance. But so he's never in a good mood. But good on you for asking. That's actually really cool to know. But I got to be honest with you, I did not watch this game. I was wedding venue touring with my new fiance, so I did not get to watch this. But
well, congrats on that.
Yeah, congrats, big dog. Congrats.
Thank you. But yeah, DeAndre Johnson didn't play in this game, correct?
No, DeAndre Johnson didn't play. It was Luis Perez all the way. He was very efficient, 75%, about 180 yards, nothing really spectacular. He did complete a long pass to Alonzo Moore on the right sideline. It looked exactly like the opening play of the season. If you remember, they threw that bomb down the side. It was the exact same play call. I told Riley that. I asked him if it was the same play call, and he said it was. So Perez is efficient, man. He's not explosive like DeAndre is. If Perez has to run, I get a little concerned because he holds the ball like a loaf of bread sometimes, and it's prone to come out of his hands. I wish he held the ball a little closer to his body, but his positivity is great. He is a leader. The guys really seem to like him too, but the offense is a different offense when DeAndre Johnson isn't available. And I'm really hoping that, and this is nothing against Luis Perez. The guy's been excellent. So I just feel like they're just so much more dynamic when DeAndre's in there creating all that extra space that he does when the option becomes a possibility and the defense has to look 2 ways.
Well, I'm sure that's why the run didn't work as well. But also you have DP to thank for DeAndre not being in. He's actually one who he came up a little gimpy, totally clean tackle. But he did come up a little gimpy on that tackle and never came back in. But freak accidents happen. But DP, what did you see?
There was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, but no, it's definitely a different offense when DeAndre's out there. We had a whole game plan set up. We gotta respect the read option. We gotta respect the quarterback pool. as soon as when we played them last week, of course, as soon as DeAndre got hurt, didn't mean to get him hurt, but as soon as he came out, the whole game plan is shifted. We no longer had to worry about read option. No offense, we wasn't worried about Perez pulling it. When you no longer have to, you need to be worried about Vic, Williams, and Turpin. That's the only people you got to worry about. Perez, he can throw the rock a little bit, but as you can say, when you were talking about the loaf of bread, Chris Odom with a strip sack on him last week when, like us, on game on the line, strip sack touchdown. So yeah, without DeAndre being in, defenses can hone in on the pass, hone in on just without the quarterback running. The quarterback run is more out the window. I think Perez pulled it maybe one or two times last game against us, and that was just to keep us honest. But at the end of the day, we'll be able to chase him down. Chasing down DeAndre, who runs a 4.4, it's different.
Yeah.
But with the game this week, every time the first touchdown, Turpin, you get him in open space. A DB's not tackling him in open space. So anytime they get the ball in Turpin's hands, and the closest defender has to make a one-on-one tackle, it's gonna be some yards at the for sure. When every time he gets the ball in open space, what you were talking about with the timeout, I realized in this league specifically being in the spring league, we don't have much time. We didn't have short training camp, short practices. Everybody's short practices. You don't have a lot of time to go over everything. And the situational football has not been up to par that you would see in NFL. I would say the athletes, the game plan, everything, I think is up to par. But the situational awareness of the people on the field, or players on the field, because we're not able to go over it. We don't just have that. We didn't have the training camp time. We don't have the practice time to go over every situation, as in practicing. Hey, look, we got a minute. We got 2 minute offense. We got a minute 54 seconds left. If we get this type of play, we'll call a timeout. If we do get a first down, since the clock stops in this league, hey, maybe we need to go up and run a play right away. Maybe we need to go up and do a quick run or draw or something to get the first down. So I can gambler specific, our situational team play is horrendous at this point. You can always tell in games when you're looking at it on TV, you're just like, man, why wouldn't you call a timeout right then? Hey, man, why wouldn't you throw the ball and try to get out of bounds? So the situational football has been a little letdown just because we haven't had the training camp time or the practice time that you do in the NFL in order to go over those scenarios. So I think that's why maybe, like you said, lost track of time, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, he was man enough to admit it, though. I mean, I give him a lot of credit there. And then conversely, the thing about the Generals that bothers me, and it's been bothering me all year, is the penalties. They commit these little penalties at the worst times. A false start when they're lining up for a field goal, 3rd and short, they jump offside, 12 men in the huddle, little things like that start to add up. And again, they were, it happened in game 1 against Birmingham, and it cost them the game on that game-winning drive. They've gotten away with it a few times, but it's not going to hold up in the playoffs. A better team is gonna make you pay when you give them a second chance with little penalties. And I asked Riley about that. I said, what's with all of these penalties? You guys aren't going to go far with committing these. And he actually took the blame for some of the delays of game, because he said he didn't get plays in quickly enough, or didn't get the right personnel out quickly enough, which I guess that goes back to what you were saying, DP, about the situational sort of awareness and maybe not being quick on the draw to get the type of package you want out there in time. I don't know. Or is he just protecting his players a little bit? What do you think about that, DP?
I mean, he sounds like a player's coach to me. Somebody I would be cool to play for one day. I mean, he's having his players back, even if it wasn't his fault. Even if it wasn't his fault, he's having his back, and that's a player's coach right there. You don't want to throw one of your players under the bus, or say they're undisciplined and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, I think it could be twofold. I have the mic. I'm the mic, linebacker, and for the gambler. So, I have the mic too. So I understand when I'm waiting for a call to come in and the offense lining up, it gets hectic. It gets hectic out there with the mic and the offense getting lined up. So not having a play call or the play coming in late, it can throw your whole mojo off. It can throw the whole thing off, and now you're hurrying and getting it out. And with the offense specifically, for them, they got a dual system quarterback. So sometimes one quarterback playing, sometimes another quarterback playing. So you got guys, uh, not getting in rhythm sometimes. Like when you got a quarterback system where one coming in, one coming out, one coming in, one coming out. So, I'm not really a fan of the dual quarterback system. I'm a personal guy that one person needs to win the job. That's what I mean. As the quarterback, as the other positions, of course, you rotate stuff like that. As a quarterback, I kind of feel like one guy needs to lead the ship. But maybe like I said, you'll still have to first team to clinch. So y'all doing something right.
Yeah, definitely. And now it's a matter of just holding the fort over these last 3 games against the division opponents. Make sure they just take care of business. Don't get anybody injured, and book that trip to Canton.
No doubt.
Forward to that.
I agree. I'm not a huge fan of the 2 quarterback system. I think at this point, the only fans of the 2 quarterback system are Generals fans, because I've never seen it work before. And I'm
not a huge fan of it. I was saying all along after it emerged that DeAndre was really the guy that made that offense go, that I said, just give the job to DeAndre and let's be done with it. And they did let him play the whole game against the week before against New Orleans. I think he played the entire game. And Luis did not get any snaps. So, just as it looked like they were heading in the direction of settling on a guy, that guy gets hurt.
He runs into DP.
He runs into DP.
It happens.
And, but again, give Luis credit. He stayed ready and he has performed fairly well. Just hold that ball closer to your body, Luis. That's all.
Yeah. And Mike Riley really is a player's coach. DP, last week we had Darius Victor and Toby Johnson on, and they had absolutely nothing but good things to say about Mike Riley. It was pretty great. So maybe someday you do get to play for him, and I think it would be a blessing and a blast. But now we get to go to the 4th and final game. My favorite game, just as far as how you played, not the outcome. That always sucks. But the outcome of the game was Defensive Player of the Week, Donald Payne Jr., linebacker, Gamblers. Are you excited to get those Air Force Ones?
I have not seen another player post them or anything, so I hope they still giving them out.
Well, we had asked.
I haven't seen a player like post them or see it around the hotel, show them anything. So I don't know if they're giving it to them at all at the end of the season or something. But when I see Daryl, I'm gonna ask him when I see him tomorrow. Hey, make sure my shoes arrive on time, please. I'm a size 13, by the way, too.
I think both Reggie and Bobby told us, because Bobby's roommates with Jamar, they both told us that they told them like 6 to 8 weeks.
After you win it?
Yep.
So that they'll be sending it to my house.
Apparently.
You'll be getting them in August.
Maybe in August.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I mean, how hard is it? It's basically just like they have to already have the Air Force Ones made, and then they just stitch the name and number, you would think.
But the size,
they might put they might put some stars on there, put the red, white, and blue on there. Who knows? I won't be wearing them. I'm gonna put them in a little little trophy case, little thing, and they just gonna sit there.
Right next to your first home run ball.
Yeah, somewhere over there.
Well, DP, I wanted to ask. You wore the number 7 in college. I asked you if you wanted the number 7 coming into the USFL. You said, heck yeah. Mark Thompson's out there wearing it. What's up with that?
Hey, man, they gave it to Mark over me. They gave it to Mark over me. I think, 7 is more of an offense. I guess it's really a dual. I feel like 7 is a dual, offense and defense number. But, we just picked. We gave out 3 numbers. They asked for 3 numbers. And, I did 7, 15, and 52. And then 7 was given to Mark. So I got 15, so it's all good.
All right. Well, I know where 7 and 52 come from.
Yeah.
Where's 15?
I honestly was just thinking of a cool low digit number because okay. And I was like, and I didn't want number 1. I don't like wearing number 1. I didn't want number 3. I didn't want number 5. And I really wanted 7. I just 15. Just I decided, and everybody loves the 15 now. Like all my friends, like, man, that 15 look nice, man.
It does.
Hey. So I said I'm cool with it.
It looks really good. No worries. Because I was gonna say, are you gonna tell him like, hey, on those shoes, maybe just throw a 7 on there? But
hey, man, they
15 does look good.
My Stetson people still call me 7. They don't even say my name. They just call me 7 to this day. My head coach, when I go back to Stetson, they just call me 7. That's my name.
All like 200 people that are at that school, but
Hey, don't be the Mad Hatters, right? Don't be cracking on the Mad Hatters.
No, we're not even the Mad Hatters. We just the Hatters.
The Hatters. They used to be the Mad Hatters way back in the day. Yeah, they were the Mad Hatters back in the day.
Angelo, your age is showing. Come on, man.
I know.
Be cool. Be cool.
I think if I added up your age and DP's age, I'm still older than you too.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But DP, this was your game, man. You were Defensive Player of the Week. Tell us about it. Tell us about your experience. Tell us about the things that happened.
I mean, it was another rough one,
Yes.
It started out well, like we always do, This is game, we're 1-6, so, we played 7 games. And every single game we've led at halftime. The only team that could say every single time we go into the locker room at halftime, we're not even pissed off because we're winning. We're winning. Like we're stopping them. And then, of course, we have slight adjustments being made. But for some reason, we just can't finish. Like our time, we broke it down on finish the last 3 weeks because that's all we need to do. We need to finish out, and we weren't able to do that this game again. Defense, I know some people think our defense and offense doesn't get along with each other. Not like personally, but because sometimes defense playing really well and the offense isn't, and the offense played well enough to help us win last week, and then we were the ones that give it up last week as a defense. So we're just trying to find that niche, to be honest. Just trying to find that niche, and we were getting after cookies all day long. I think our coach said we had, these weren't even pressures. We had 12 quarterback hits 12 quarterback hits on like 30 passes. Half the time he's getting hit every time he's throwing the ball. And our D line, is going crazy. Of course, you got Chris Odom, leading the league in sacks, easy. He's getting after cookies the whole night. Our D tackle, Dom. Oh my gosh, Dom is crazy. 52. I think he's the best nose tackle in the league. Like,
we had him on the show. We love him.
Yeah, Dominique Davis. I mean, he's the best nose tackle in the league. Of course, people gonna say I'm biased, but I would say I'm a realistic person. Dom is going to get a shot. I talk to him all the time. He's going to get a shot at the next level. He's going to get a shot with one of the 32 teams. We'll be calling his agent. After this is over. He's a stout in the middle. With this game specifically, man. Oh man. We just gave up unopportunistic plays. The quarterback scramble on 3rd and 7. He hasn't ran all game, and he has the longest run on 3rd and 7. When he throws a jump ball and one of our DB slips and he catches it, and we're in cover 2, and while we're winning, we're up 9 points. The tip block punt, stuff like that. You just can't. When you're trying to get over the hump, you just can't do little things like that. You just can't do it. I mean that's what Coach Sumner's been preaching. Like, it's little things that a team like Generals can maybe get away with it. They got a rabbit's foot in their back pocket. They're 6-1. We can't afford for those little mistakes like that. Those little nuances, those are messing us up in those time games. I was able to have a decent game. It really helps me out that I got other great players around me. I got Reggie right next to me, 5. The one who talk the most mess 24/7. That's not really my thing. Mind you, I do talk a little mess because they have to bleep me out of my mic'd up all the time. I be saying some reckless stuff out there. I gotta chill out. But we got Will Likely back there. They not gonna throw the ball his way. You got Reggie right next to me. We got Chris Odom. You got Dom. You got Ma. You got, like I said, we don't have the record to prove it, but Coach Sumlin, I think he talked about it in an interview. Every team that walks around the hotel when we see them. We might be 1-6, but we get the most respect after every single loss. After every single loss, everybody in the whole building respects us because they know that one or two little things and we could be 6-1. One or two little things we could be 5-2. One or two little things we could be 4-3. So it just was a rough one this game. It was just a rough one. I mean, Clayton getting hurt didn't help either. Clayton getting hurt and having to come out the game. Um, Kenji hadn't got a lot of snaps this week. Hasn't got any snaps all year, basically. So we got a new quarterback who hasn't gotten any snaps, unlike DeAndre and Luis, who have been going back and forth. Somebody getting some playing time. So Kenji hasn't got any time playing, until this game, which, kind of hurt us because, he's a great player. He just hasn't getting the opportunities.
Yeah, I gotta admit, every time we line up for a punt, I clench. I'm like, dude, it's so hard. It really is. I think Coach Sumlin specifically said it. This was the first week where it wasn't like a single play difference. It wasn't one thing that happened, one mistake that basically decided the game. This was the week where it just kind of snowballed in the second half into, I don't know, the worst loss we've
we
had.
imploded. We definitely imploded. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's no different. At least the other weeks I can say I can pick out from the Birmingham game, since the first game we lost, until this past game. I can pick out one play probably from every game, and I can say this. I mean, no, you never want to blame one play for you losing, but you could definitely pick out one play in all these games, and we win all these games. Literally pick out a play, pick out a play. This past game was more, like I said, implosion of like multiple plays, like everything just snowball effect. And I know that saying, I try to tell my teammates this all the time. Like I said, our situational football has been horrendous this year. I mean, because look at our record. Of course, I want us to be. We can improve. We got 3 games to improve. We got 3 games to at least don't leave this season with a bitter taste in our mouth. At the end of the day, we don't want to leave with a bitter taste in our mouth. But there's something along the lines, a 3rd and 10 in the first quarter does not have the same impact of a 3rd and 10 in the fourth quarter. It just doesn't. Inside 2 minutes, things get microscoped. So, of course, everybody says, oh, one play didn't beat us, one play didn't do us. This play counts the same as this play. Yes, it does. But like I said, a 4th down, a 1st and 10, or like I said, a 3rd and 10 or 4th and 10 in the first quarter is not the same as the 4th and 10 with 2 minutes on the clock. It's just not. Like, right. Different plays have different impacts, and we have not been good when it's coming down to the end of game situations. And it has a little bit to do about we're not able to practice all of it. But at this point, we've had practice of it because we've had to do it every game. Like, right. Like we just haven't been able to get over the hump. And I really just want to talk to these guys. Basically, I've been telling them we're gonna go in tomorrow and talk to them. Basically, I just want to run through the South. That's all I want to do. I just want to run through them. One more, like before they go to Canton and enjoy their time up there and everything. We gonna run through them. All right. So that's the goal. Like, y'all can go to Canton, get y'all a ring, whatever, get y'all extra 10 bands, but we gonna beat y'all before y'all go.
All right, I'm gonna start a hashtag for that because that's awesome. We're on a revenge tour here. Hashtag run through the South. What is up? That's so cool. Oh my gosh. Well,
so I was just gonna ask you, DP, and you answered it. I think. Are you still having fun despite all of all the troubles?
I think y'all can tell from when I'm out there. I'm still having fun out there. Yeah. That's for sure. Hey, I'm still gonna have fun regardless. Well, I mean, the sour taste of going in the locker room is definitely getting annoying. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's never a good feeling to lose, but I always tell. I mean, I tell the guys, like, when we come in, like Saturday, Sunday night, or today was our off day. So Monday, like, we did something for Memorial Day, and we had like a little Memorial Day cookout and stuff like that. And I look at these guys and I say, hey man, we're 1-6. It sucks. You would think that we don't have any camaraderie. You would think that we don't like each other. You would think we're having a horrible time here in Birmingham because we're 1-6. And to be real, this is the most fun 1-6 team of all time. Anytime we step on the field, we feel like we're dogs, and we just have to. we're still proving that we're good football players. We just haven't proved that we're a good football team. I tell everybody, you need to prove. We have a lot to prove. You have to prove that you're. Can we prove to people that we the dogs on the field? Like we're the best on the field? Can you prove that you're the best linebacker on the field? Can you prove that you're the best DN? Yeah, we might have lost, but Chris, he walks around the hotel as he's the best DN. Yeah, we have a 1-6 record, but I'm the best DN in the USFL. So when we walk on the field, we still want to have that mentality. At every single game afterwards, Generals League last week, coaches come up to us at the game. Y'all got some hell of a players. Y'all got some great players on the team. Y'all got a hell of a team. Just not able to get over the hump. So we still got. It's not that we like losing, but we have so much pride in what we do as a defense. Because I'm on defense, that's why I'm speaking specifically about the. We have so much pride that we're going to have fun when we step out on the field because we got too much pride. We got too much to prove. We got too much guys giving us the ability to go out here and play and make money doing it, right? Playing pro football. We on national television, every week. We might as well put on a good show. So.
I agree. At the end of the day, you guys are still all out there playing the game of football, making money while doing it, and getting tape is one of the biggest things, right? You're getting good game film on yourself.
And that's why you want to play hard all the way through, right?
Yeah, 100%. And you are proving that y'all are dogs. I mean, Toby Johnson, Darius Victor, they said, man, we could have lost that game. Like, we should have lost that game. They had nothing but good things to say about the entire Gamblers team because you guys are really good. And it sucks that this is how the season has unfolded, but it's happened. But I did want to talk real quick, and then I'll get to the last thing I wanted to talk about the game. But last week, we talked with Darius and Toby about how you guys spent the entire third quarter on the field.
Yeah.
What was that like?
That ever happened to you before?
Well, what makes it worse, it was my fault that we were on the field the whole third quarter because I had to fumble the ball.
Oh, dude, I was screaming. I was so happy, and then I was screaming because I was so not happy. But
I was the opposite of you exactly on that same play.
Oh my gosh!
So not only did they march the ball down the field, so I always tell them we're a bend don't break defense.
100%.
This last game, we got the punt block. They get the ball to 20 yards and we hold them to a field goal. We kept the Stars this week.
Yeah.
Generals marching the ball down the field. 12-play drive. 12-play drive. They get. I think they might have been in the inside. They were definitely in the red zone. I don't know if it was first and goal or not, but we hold them to a field goal. They marched down the field 12 plays. So we're already gassed. We're gassed. We're 12 plays in. 12 plays in on a defensive drive. We held them to a punt. We won. Defensive won. We won this drive. We held them to a field goal after 12 plays. We blocked the kick. Chris, of course, Odom blocks the kick, leading the league in like all these categories. Crazy. Blocks the kick. A couple of my teammates look like they're about to pick up the ball. If you watch the video, I'm in the back a little bit. I'm just jogging. I don't want the ball. Like, y'all pick it up. I'm too tired to pick up the ball. They keep fumbling the ball back, and now the ball is back to me. And I'm just looking at it like, damn, what? Damn, I'm tired. Why y'all? I had to run all these plays. I pick it up, and I'm running. And I just basically, coach always says when you get the ball as a defense, we want to score. So it wasn't like I just gave it up on a fumble. I was looking to pitch it to a teammate. I was looking to give it to somebody. I was looking to give it to somebody who's somebody around, and lap some judgment. I let somebody come over, get me while I'm trying to toss it to somebody. Somebody comes over, tackles me, ball falls down, and now we got to go back onto the field for another 10-play drive. So our offense, like I said, our offense can't do wrong because they didn't even have the ball the whole third quarter. They didn't get a chance, mind you. The Generals scored on that second drive, but they didn't score the entire third quarter.
That was the first play of the fourth quarter, exactly.
They scored in the beginning of the fourth quarter, but the whole third quarter, there were no points scored, and they had the ball the entire quarter. So you can see that's a bend don't break defense. Like, usually after a play, like after something like that, you lose your breath. You like, oh my gosh, who's on the field? Like, but as a defense, we still held to our own. We said, hey man, we dogs. This is what we do, man. We dogs. Okay, the offense throws a pick, the offense fumbles the ball. Hey, guess what? This gives us a chance to show what we can do again. So that ain't gonna lie, that definitely sucked. And it's less fun that we playing in 95-degree heat too. So
Yeah.
Oh, I feel that, dude. Heat gets I was in a 110-degree attic today for my job, and I wanted to die. But
yeah.
the last thing I wanted to talk about was that we are in the press. We get the opportunity to be in the press conferences after the game. We zoom in, we talk to the coaches. Every time I post a video, I put hashtag living the dream. And DP, I think you are also living the dream. And Kevin Sumlin was talking yesterday. You are the best defensive player in this league. He said it. I truly believe it. And I have the clip, and I'm going to show everybody right now, if you don't mind.
Well, Coach, I just wanted to ask, Donald Payne is not the largest linebacker, he's not the fastest, but he just is always at the ball and makes the tackle. And it reminds me a lot of you when you played at Purdue, and I was wondering if you saw a lot of yourself in him when you're watching him play.
No, and he's a hell of a lot better than I am, ever was. So I don't think I've, in 4 years, had as many interceptions. I know I didn't block a field goal. I'll just put it that way. So, may have led the team in tackles one year, but this guy is leading the league. So that's a whole different level, right? And that's why he gets paid to play football. I never really did, professionally. So, he's just a heck of a player. And he's a great guy to be around. He's got energy that's contagious, and he deserves a shot to keep playing football. I mean, because obviously, I don't use those words. I've waited a while to say that he is one of, if not the best defensive player in this league, and he shows that week in, week out.
You heard it straight from your head coach's mouth. DP, you are the best player defensively in this league. I mean, congratulations, man. You are out there killing it every week.
Yeah, man.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. I talked to you before this thing even got started, before we even, got to camp and stuff like that. And, I kind of told you what kind of mission I've been on, what I felt like I had to prove, and, what the reason why, everybody had a why they're in this league, because a lot of us could have, hung up the cleats and say, all right, I'm calling it a career. We got guys, who's still fighting for that shot. We guys who had a shot and stuff like that. So, I kind of told you my reason why I was in this league. And that's why when you say, am I still having fun doing it? Hell yeah, I'm still having fun doing it, because I have things to prove, to not only prove to myself, prove that, I feel like I know where I should be. I feel like I should still be on the 32. But guess what? I'm not in that. I wasn't, but this situation this year didn't work out that way. So I'm here, and I'm going to put my best foot forward whenever I step out on the field. And I had so much fun playing this game, man. And Coach Sumner, he's a great guy. I honestly feel bad for him, because I know how much work he's put in for the team and how much he believes in us. And and to see him every time he comes in frustrated to y'all meetings and frustrated to your press conference, because he knows we're that close of coming over the edge. And he has a reason why he's doing this too. He got 60 million. He got plenty of M's. He don't need to do this. He doesn't have to do this. But he's a great leader of men, and I'm just excited. I'm glad I've gotten the opportunity to be a part of this league. And like I told you before, back then, I had a reason why I was doing this, and I came here to be the best. I didn't come here to get a little bit of film and call it quits, man. The next 3 games, I plan on doing what I've been doing this whole time. I'm not calling it quits, just because my agent's getting calls and people asking, all right, where you going next? Because we know you're going somewhere. We know we know X team, some of the 32 teams calling. I said, well, I still got 3 games left to become defensive player of the year. Why not? Why not? First USFL season. Why can't I do that? And of course, I'm one of those people. I would love to. It's called being humble. You probably heard it before. It's called being humble but hungry. You know, still be humble in everything you do, but at the end of the day, I'm letting people know I'm a dog. I'm letting people know that I have a mission and I'm on a mission, and I'm the next 3 weeks I plan to continue that, man. So I appreciate those words, man. I don't take them lightly at all because there's a lot of great players in this football league. I mean, in this league, there's a lot of great ones. There's plenty of great ones. Shoot, the Defensive Player of the Year might be on my team with me, with Odom more likely. Pick. I don't know. So I don't take those words lightly at all, and uh, I'm just glad I've been able to be in this league, and we haven't had the outcome as a team how I wanted it, but I'm having a great time with the guys, man. I'm having a great time, you know, being able to be a leader, and I don't take that lightly. I don't take that lightly at all. Being considered a leader because because I know other people who've led, and they tell me what you have to do it, and I've been trying to portray that constantly. I've been trying to portray that constantly, and I'm just excited, man. I mean, excited to win the Player of the Week, and I'm excited to finish out these 3 games. Like I said, we're on a mission to run through the South. So that's the mission right now. So, but yeah, I appreciate those words, big dog, man. I'm just trying to put my best foot forward.
I want to say that's a true sign of a professional, because it's easy to pack it in at 1-6, but to come on here and say, hey, we are going to roll through the South here for our last 3 games, and 1-6 doesn't mean anything because we're looking, we got a target set on everybody. The fact that you guys have the camaraderie, the fact that you can sit here with us and tell us that, coach is great and there's no dissension in the ranks, and that you guys are as together as any team that's 6-1, right? Would you come back a second year? Let's just say the 32 thing doesn't happen and they give you a call again, year 2. Would you do it again?
Man, I believe in something called speaking into existence. So I don't speak on the what ifs. I know where I plan on being come the end of July. So
all right, man, I can respect that. You don't put it out there unless it's the positive thing, right? You put out the positive only.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's always been it.
I can't wait to see where you are in July.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And the last thing I want to say is that, I've been following this league from the beginning. I am a diehard Gamblers fan, even though they've only been around for 4 months. And I got to say, I love this defense. I really do think that what y'all have is something special with the talent you have, the players, the personalities you have. And it makes me incredibly happy that I think most of the defense will be moving on to the 32 teams next year. I think they will find a place, but it does make me incredibly sad to think that this is the last time, the only year I will get to see this defense play. So thank you for giving me this season to watch and root for you guys. It's been awesome.
I appreciate it, man. We're going to give you some better stuff to root for the next 3 games, though. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, if you think I'm not about to beat the hell out of #run through the South, you crazy. Let's go. But that was all I had. Angela, you got anything left?
No, I think that we covered the week pretty well. Donald, you're an awesome guy, man. I love your vibe. I love your attitude. I love your energy. You deserve to go on to the next level. And, with that kind of drive that you have, there's no reason why you're not going to succeed there, man. I wish you all the luck in the world. You're awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate y'all having me on, man. Yeah, we're probably going to have to do a end of the year recap, real quick. And so we'll see if that hashtag come to life. You feel me? So.
Oh, we will. We will definitely be hitting you back up.
Hey, all you guys run through the South, and that just the what if game becomes even bigger.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. Hey, we're trying to break some people's brackets, man. I guess one question I got about it. It's not really a 1 or 2 seed, is it? It's just if you go to the playoffs or not. It's not like a seeding, so it really doesn't matter if you come in first or second, though.
Because there's no home game, right? There's no home.
Yeah, it's not a home game, so it's no perks other than winning the win bonus. In order, of course, they want to win the win bonus.
Yeah,
you get the win bonus, and then you just make it. So it's just the 2 teams that make it from the South, 2 teams from the North, and they're going to play each other in their own conference. So if you're 1 or 2, it does not really matter. But I think you guys can knock the Breakers down. And I would absolutely love that because my very, very good friend in our network, but he is the Breakers representative and their fans annoy me almost as much as the Stallions. So help me out. Help a brother out with that. But
I got you. We got you, man. We got you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, DP, for coming on. Everybody at home, this was the Week 7 recap. Thank you, DP. Thank you, Angelo.
Thank you.
We'll see y'all next week.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.